In 2000, we bought an abandoned 100-acre farm in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. We spent years cleaning it up, built a new house, and now are trying to make it a functional homestead farm. Welcome to Red Toolhouse.
Well, welcome. We want to do another episode and just kind of talk about what's been going on the past several months. And of course, around here we're getting ready for winter, so we're trying to get things in place. You can see the leaves are starting to fall, getting cooler nights. So we're trying to get prepared and get things set away there. So we'll give a little update as to what's been going on. Well, probably one of the most exciting things that's happened this summer on the farm has been bringing in a piece of heavy equipment. And there's nothing more exciting than bringing in a piece of equipment and moving some dirt around. I always joke that we've got a 100-acre farm and I don't have a place where I can turn my truck and trailer around. It's because of the topography we have here in West Virginia, very hilly. So it was exciting to get a piece of equipment in and a game plan. I had two major goals basically. One was to clear some land off behind the barn, flatten it off. And you can see behind me here, we got quite a bit cleared off. The hill used to slope up right here behind the back of the barn. It'd slope up to the hill. And you can see this break, this cutaway here. You can kind of see what the old elevation was. So we were able to bring in a backhoe with a front loader, rubber tired, and cut a lot of this out. And what that allowed me to do was also build up the road on this side. The road used to come down and was closer to the creek. So they had a bank, a berm on this side. So this allowed to take all that overburden and fill this area in. So now I got a nice flat area. It's super exciting. I tell you, I was kind of surprised how excited I was after the equipment got here, after we started running it and realizing, hey, this is actually going to work out. Even took out a pretty big tree in the back here that was dying, an old poplar that was split up the middle. So really cleared out the area. We're going to get some good sunlight in here, help dry this place out in the wet months when a lot of rain's here and the water will puddle. So really excited, and again, I've got a spot. Look, there's my trailer. If I had my truck, I could turn it around. I could do donuts in here. I'm super excited. I'm actually giddy with anticipation of what I can do here. So my plan is to extend the barn. We're going to tear down the old corral and move the corral and make that part of the barn. So we'll have our load chute coming out of the barn. That'll help us funnel the pigs better. So that was the main project. The second thing we wanted to do was to straighten the creek. Just in front of the barn, in front of the workshop, we have the watershed that comes down the center of the valley, and it came right down into my green space and actually kind of had a shape of a figure four. It kind of made this really weird turn. was cutting into the bank, getting closer to my road, so we went ahead and got in there and straightened that out. Again, using the backhoe, dug a nice trench, came back, pulled the banks over, and took that overburden and filled in the old creek. So we're excited about that. It's now a straight shot to my culvert and to the main creek. So really, obviously hoping that stays there. We haven't had any rain much at all since we did all this dirt work. So I don't even have any water in the creek right now as far as flowing water to test, make sure my relocation of that creek bed is going to work. So straightening the creek, clearing off behind the barn, and then one other thing too, our game plan up behind the house, on the bench behind our house, we had a nice green grassy area, but it had a slope to it. It was where we do campfires and things, but it had had a slope to it that you just couldn't sit flat on anything. Everything would lean to a side, so it was nice to look at. It was nice to kind of play around with it. Basically, all I did was mow. Even when we had campfires there, it was very limited. So we want to build a picnic shelter so we can start hosting dinners and some farm dinners type of thing out here. So we thought, we need to get a nice flat space, and what better place up there? You got a nice view, you're close to the house, close to the amenities. So I took the piece of equipment up there, and again started clearing that area off, cutting a level that we could run up through there. By cutting that green space down, by cutting that slope and getting a nice flat area there, then I can come in and erect a picnic shelter or do some things, or just enjoy flat land. Again, here at West Virginia, we don't really get to take advantage of too much flat land. So it'll be nice just to have that flat area there, get it grassed in, and then eventually get that picnic shelter built. And we did a couple other things with the equipment, just little things, clearing out some spots, some holes of water in the creek that would hold water better. Pigs obviously like to have a nice hole of water to play around in, so we dug out some of that and just worked on some road maintenance in some areas. But it was nice. It was nice having a piece of equipment come in. It was definitely worth the rental fee. It was delivered here on site. My neighbor, whose farm is just over this ridge, he came over and helped run the machine. He ran the machine most of the time, and then I ran it to others. So it's obviously interesting to see when a guy knows how to run a machine. Charlie's been doing it. He retired from doing that type of work. So you get somebody like that that's really skilled in running a piece of equipment, and a noob like me getting on it. Obviously I can make a hole, I can move dirt, but not nearly as experienced as somebody that's been doing it for years. And you can see that. You can see when somebody knows what they're doing, they can move a lot of dirt a lot faster, get a lot more things done. So when you're renting by the hour, it's nice to have some good help that knows what they're doing, and it's a blessing having good neighbors like that help you out. But we got a lot of dirt moved, and again, I can't stress how excited I am about having these flat areas here that I can work and be able to do some things, park some equipment, and expand our barn and our corral area.
Over here. Well, one thing that all this earth moving allowed us to do was finally get a good separation of my pastures. I now have a pasture for the adults and a pasture for the children. So we have the piglets. I have 22 piglets on this side of the pasture, separated by this fence. And then I have my sows on this side. So the sows have access to the barn, and the piglets have access to another building up here where their feeder is. And everybody has access to different points of the creek and water sources, so we're all good there. But this really helps me with my feed conversion. I don't have to worry about my sows. I really don't want them putting on a bunch of weight because we breed them, and the lighter they are, the better. So it's nice to have the sows on this side, and they're not getting access to the feeder. You can hear the feeder clanging up there. Those are the little guys tearing into it. They aren't so little now, but you can see here a separation. Got the gate. We can even, as we start to expand the barn and use this to funnel as a corral to put our load chute in and rebuild all that, then we'll be able to funnel the piglets in this way and get them directed. So it's been really nice having this. And one thing we decided to do was with this separation, we made it so that if we needed to fence off this area later to keep the sows out of the barn area, you see all this open ground here. Eventually it's going to get pretty torn up as the wet weather comes along. It's funny, sows are like 600-pound women in high heels. They're so heavy and their hooves are so small surface area that they just tear stuff up. So we haven't had much rain at all, and you can see the hoof prints they're doing here. And of course they just tear up a lot of things. So we're excited about maybe being able to block them out as the cold weather comes. And I still have areas on this side, the back side of the barnyard area where the pastures, they can access those.
still have access to water, to shelter and all that. And that will allow me to get this kind of under control and manage this winter, maybe even plant some grass, some winter ground cover in here so we don't have erosion issues. So it was nice having this fence separation. We put electric on the sow side. They respect it a lot more. And I'm not as worried about the piglets getting on the sow side as much as the sows on this, simply because of the feed issues. But both of them, they've gotten pretty trained on electric, so they're both groups are pretty respectful of the electric fence, so we really don't have an issue there anymore. Everybody's kind of staying where they need to. So this has been really helpful. I've got this 5-acre pasture kind of split right in half. This fence goes right on up past the creek and goes to the back end of this pasture and closes it all off. So it's really nice to have. All right, well guys, every once in a while we like to talk about products. We haven't done a product review in a while, and one thing I really like that I've just acquired recently is this hat. Now again, you may think, well, a hat's a hat. You know, what's the big deal about a hat? Well, the neat thing about this hat is it's called the high beam. It's got a built-in LED light in it. And what it has is 2 battery packs that are actually right here in the temples, and then has an LED that's built in. And I've had some clip-on LEDs before that obviously hands-free, really nice, but they're bulky. You know, it's kind of keeps down on your vision and everything. With this, it's built right into the brim of the hat, so you can't see it. And there's actually multiple settings, so I can turn this switch on. The little push button's built into the brim, so I'm just kind of pinching it. And there's a light that's right here, comes underneath the brim, so it's almost like going right down the bridge of my nose. Or then I can turn it on to a straight on, so you can probably see that in the camera there shining at you. Or then even a third click turns them both on. And the neat thing about this hat is obviously hands-free. I wear hats all the time, so it's nice to be able to have a flashlight without having to reach through my pocket to get my phone out, get a flashlight. Forget a flashlight, I'm down there. And I've discovered, obviously, since it's getting darker earlier, more stuff I need to do outside. It was kind of neat the other night. I was getting eggs and wearing the hat, and even with the lights on in the coop, the nesting boxes are kind of dark, and you can look back in there and access the eggs, see where the eggs are. And again, hands-free, reach in 2 hands with get the eggs, and it's nice to have that option there. Well, of course, the other night too, I was looking around for the one rooster. I started calling him Snoopy because he likes to sleep on top of the chicken coop. And so even as I was looking for him, using that light, light goes where you look. So I could see Snoopy up on top of the roof there. But this hat, like I said, is pretty neat. I got it and, of course, put our brand on it. But I like the hat so much that I decided to order a bunch of them. So I actually have this hat available. You can get it with the Red Toolhouse branding, or you can get it plain. We can either get it in black or get it in blaze orange. But the batteries are replaceable, so you can take the batteries out. It does have a battery pack on either side. So it takes a little flat battery, so you can replace those. But like I said, I have them in black, I have them in orange, and they're available on our website. So if you go to our website, redtoolhouse.com, you'll see a link there to be able to purchase these. And again, just because of my regular day job, I have access to this type of stuff, so I'm able to acquire these things. But check it out. I thought it'd be kind of neat to just share things that we like, things that we use, and things that seem to have a practical approach to them. And this hat was definitely one of them. Well, that about wraps it up for another episode. We appreciate everyone watching. Again, if you enjoyed these videos, please give us a thumbs up. That helps us with YouTube. And also subscribe. We encourage subscriptions there. That just, all it doesn't do anything, but it just gives you notification that there's a new video out, so you don't miss any new ones that come out. So we appreciate a subscription there on YouTube. If you want more information about our farm, just visit our website, redtoolhouse.com. You can see our blog. You can see links to a lot of things we've got going on there. And we're going to be rolling out a new store soon. I'll be able to do some purchases online. If you want to follow us on Facebook, just go to facebook.com/redtoolhouse and give us a like there. And also, if you're on our website, subscribe to our e-newsletter. We have a lot of current updates that go out. In fact, we send a newsletter out usually. Try to send one out weekly. Let people know what's going on for you local, letting them know about orders that are available and what inventory we have in. So again, we appreciate it. Take care.